カチに凍ったハンガーの上を猫が歩いています。
Is today's Japanese thing that I'm talking about? Yeah, this is more of a meme than like a linguistic phrase, but the title doesn't matter, none of this matters. The only thing that matters is that on December 27th of 2021, a cat walked across the completely frozen Han River in Korea, a film crew caught it and notified the entire world.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
This innocent little news broadcast would, 3 years later, especially across May, April, and June 2024, explode throughout Korea and Japan as a massive kind of meme trend and song. While this has been covered elsewhere, in this video my goal is to fill in a lot of the holes here because I think I've established the most full timeline of this that exists on the internet, certainly in English or Japanese. My Korean's not good enough to check. Anyway, as mentioned, this cat was first brought to attention of the world at the end of 2021 in Korea. Now, from what I can tell, I don't have the Korean to investigate this, but there was some attention to this phrase in Korea and in Korean pretty soon after, but not a huge amount. Predominantly because there is kind of a flow to the way that the announcer says things that people enjoy. Let's listen to it again, just because of how nice it is.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
Now, while the Korean internet talked about this a little bit, it didn't really come to a head until the start of 2024. Indeed, if you look for what this is now called in Korean now on Google Trends, early 2024 is when you see the first jump in Google Trends. Basically what happened is that whatever simmering attention to this there was finally bubbled to a head when the Korean mad community got a hold of it. In other words, Korean people who make audio or video edits which are intentionally designed to be kind of amateurish and annoying. Think of it as similar to like the YouTube poop, or if you're my age, Gary's Mod kind of things that existed in English, video memes. Indeed, many of these original videos use Gary's Mod.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 걸어다니는 고양 틈땡용내양 지탈라 무슨 뒤집은치양.
And as part of all this, some people made songs. Here's an example of some of those.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다. 꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다. 꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다. 갑자기 꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다. 고양이 위로 꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강이 걸어다닙니다. 고양이가 상어 고양이다.
None of these audio remixes really took off though until someone online who goes by the name of Happy Pizza Bread released an audio mix on YouTube on February 3rd and TikTok on February 4th of 2024, which you can hear here.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
This still remains Happy Pizza Bread's most popular video with over 11 million views at the time of recording. And amusingly, in the description for this, Happy Pizza Bread notes like, hey, why are people talking about this now? So yeah, there was a bit of a gap. And while this song was pretty popular when it was released, there was a gap of a few months as well before Koreans started doing anything with the audio. Now, TikTok has a pretty terrible search function, so it was very hard to find out who was the first person to use this audio in a dance, but I was fortunately able to find one Japanese website which asserted that an influencer by the name of Songo was the origin. I couldn't find anyone else talking about this. And unfortunately, when I went to Songo's TikTok page, either they have deleted everything that they made before October of last year, or they didn't create an account until October of last year. But despite that there was only one website in Japanese mentioning this person, they're right, I think, because Songo has an Instagram and a video of them dancing to this song using the dance that I did at the beginning of this video, the dance which became super popular and blew this song and meme into extreme popularity throughout Asia, dates back to March 11th of 2024, which is well before any other video I can find. And interestingly, the name of this dance in combination with this song is called Songoi by some Japanese people, which I'm not sure if they're aware of this, and I could be wrong, but I believe relates to the fact that Songo created it. After that, Songo promoted this 2 more times, once on March 24th and once again in April 1st, and then kind of dropped it. Although they didn't drop the whole making a dance thing, they seem to like to make dance challenges. That seems to be something that they do, and again, they have a large follower base, so people then imitate these challenges. And again, because TikTok, Instagram, etc. don't have the same search functionality as a text-based website like Twitter or even just Google, it's hard to trace exactly when, but minimally I can find that within a month, by March 30th of 2024, at least one large TikToker in Korea was doing this dance. What exploded this though is that somehow K-pop artists picked up on this, and that blew the doors wide open for mass popularity because of course, their follower accounts. Again, I'm not saying this is absolutely the first, but the oldest I can find is one by NCT on April 4th.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
The singer Chu did it on April 8th.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
A member of aespa did it on April 9th, and I believe this one is one of the ones that went really, really viral first.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
Indeed, if you look at the post I mentioned earlier using Sangoe, they call this one Densetsu, or kind of the legend. N- did it on the 12th.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
And many others did it later, such as twice on the 24th.
꽁꽁 얼어붙은 한강 위로 고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
However, really, everyone after the 12th is a bit late to the game because the 12th is when you start seeing memes like this in Korea, which are saying the only thing on our For You page in Korea is this cat. So how did this Korean meme kind of move to Japan? Well, obviously, lots of K-pop fans in Japan. You made it this far in the video and suddenly you need to run for an appointment or something, that's basically the answer. But the first reference to this dance that I can find in Japanese is on April 8th by the Korean band Evne, or something like that. So assuming, again, probably unlikely, the NCT were the first K-pop band to do this on the 4th, just a few days later on the 8th. Interestingly though, just one day later, on the 9th, an influencer by the name of Senim, who makes content in Japanese and Korean, discussed this meme on her channel. Now, she does not have the follower count of, like massive K-pop bands, but this video has a sizable amount of views, and interestingly fits perfectly in the timeline, because use in Japanese on Twitter explodes the next day on April 10th. At this point though, most of it is still in Korean. The videos are in Korean, and indeed the videos that are being shared are videos of Korean celebrities. However, on April 10th as well, I guess jumping on the trend, a Korean TikToker couple who goes by the name of Cookie Couple released a video that had Japanese audio.
カチカチに凍ったハンガーの上を猫が歩いています。
But the video was very, very popular, and from what I can tell, because if you click this audio, like most of the Japanese videos are using it, it was the first Japanese version. But it seems like it took a few days for Japanese people to start using this audio. Again, noting all the flaws of TikTok's search engine for doing this kind of video, but the first videos using the Japanese version that I can find are from the 17th, so a week later.
カチカチに凍ったハンガーの上を猫が歩いています。
But still pretty close. Sure, there are some videos before this, but they just didn't have the hits, so they don't pop up on the search page very well. That said, a day earlier, a day before this video, a different Japanese version was made by a Japanese music making person who goes by the name of Panix, or I Am Panix. And from what I can tell, this version sees less use than the April 10th version, but still has appeared in some very, very popular videos.
カチカチ凍ったハンガンの上を猫が歩いてます。カチカチ凍ったハンガンの上を猫が歩いてます。
Once we leave April though, this just continued to explode throughout Japan and Korea with all these audio files circulating to the extent that like even Duolingo made a video, which is a weird combination of this meme and the Oiwarairu meme I talked about in a different video.
カチカチに凍った寝ているカモを俺が食べています。うまそう。
It's quite unpleasant. These were all circulating on May 17th. A former AKB member by the name of Mariko Nakamura made a video as kind of like an announcer, like she was the one announcing it on the radio, and it got over 9 million views, being extremely popular.
カチカチに凍ったハンガーの上を猫が歩いています。
I haven't been able to find a song that uses it, might be out there, but this just increased the popularity. And as for the meme, that's basically it. But to make this video at least a little bit linguistic, there is one kind of bizarre thing about this whole phrase in Japan at least. Now, if you write it in kanji, there's no problem whatsoever. However, some versions of this meme use katakana for the name of the river, which is again Hangan. But quite bizarrely, oftentimes this is written as katakana as hanga, and I don't know why. I think it's a mishearing. Like, all the Japanese songs clearly say Hangan.
ハンガーの
If you look on Google Trends, if you compare all the different katakana versions, Hangano Ueo is much more popular than the Hangano Ueo version. Neither of these are as popular as the version in kanji, but it is kind of just weird to know. I don't know why, maybe it's a mishearing. Any Japanese people discussing this meme online do ask, wait, how do you read the name of that river? But yeah, it seems like this representation is one that is kind of here to stay. But I like this meme, I think it's cute, and I do like how it has kind of cross borders. For instance, this YouTuber, who I've mentioned in earlier videos, has a thing they do where they run around and shove a microphone in someone's face and just say like the first half of a meme and then hope somebody answers it. And they did one for this, and of course, most people answer in Japanese.
カチカチに凍ったハンガーの上を
猫が歩いてます。
カチカチ
The video actually opens with a really cute interaction where they state the first half to someone in Japanese, and then the person answers in Korean.
カチカチに凍ったハンガーの上を
고양이가 걸어다닙니다.
カチカチに凍ったハンガーの上を猫
One final and very interesting little tidbit about this whole thing, though, is that while unquestionably most people in Japan learned about this cat, this meme, etc., in April of 2024, at least a few Japanese people had to have known about it before then. Because in 2023, one random person on the internet posted about how much they like this cat walking across the ice. And somehow, the description that they used for it fits the exact description that is now used as the translation of the Korean, at least enough that I was able to find it as part of my search data. So, good job, you. You may have beaten almost every single Japanese person, certainly every single Japanese celebrity to the punch on talking about this cat using the phrase, カチカチに凍ったハンガーの上を猫が歩いてます. Alright, you didn't use an echo, but I still think credit where credit is due.
カチカチに凍ったハンガーの上を猫が歩いています。
知ってるっすね